Excellent. So thank you for everybody that, of course, for Thrive 2021. This is all about how to have practical, applicable steps for you to move into the new year so you can thrive in 2021. And there's 15 expert speakers that are sharing their wisdom. Of course, this will later on be available on our YouTube channel for those of you who missed anything. It is being streamlined on Facebook. So if you go to Speaker Express and you want to catch one of the other speakers from earlier on, you can on the Speaker Express page as well. So our next speaker is amazing. Not that the other speakers weren't amazing, but because of the topic she's going to be talking about, and I'm very excited to hear what she has to say, because Jo was actually diagnosed with late in life, having struggled to fit in at school and at work. And a lot of this was down to autism. And based on her experience, she's actually developed a system to help management understand how to better work and help autistic people to flourish at work. It's very much needed. And she's going to talk about Where's Alan? How to find your hidden genius in your workforce. Let's give Jo a virtual round of applause. Way! Over to you, Jo.
Right, can I just ask everyone just to shut their eyes for a minute or two as I start my talk. I'll be wearing a mask. Baffling? Possibly, but you'll see the reason why. Alan Turing, World War II, broke the Naval Enigma code, shortened the war by 2 years, saved 14 million lives. Dark times for our nation. He saw the patterns and the needs and created a machine to break the messages. More recently, Steve Jobs, Apple, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Anthony Hopkins, the lovely actor. And all of these required AC electricity. Enter Nikola Tesla. Why could they do this? They all had autism or autistic traits. Their brains were just wired differently. Autism is a lifelong neurological condition. And because of it, they could see, understand, and interact with the world differently. They saw gaps in needs, filled them, told the world with passion. Think about Steve Jobs on stage. In a way that so-called normal people don't. It's a bit like wearing X-ray specs. Naturally, it isn't a condition which affects the intellectual ability. In these dark, uncertain days, we need these skills. Companies need to attract, nurture, and retain the skills of the autistic people. In short, we need our Allens more than ever. If you have got your eyes still shut, you can open them. In the UK, there is an estimated 1 in 88 people with autism, a figure likely to rise amongst all ages, including females, as well as females. That's 700,000 people. According to the National Autistic Society, an estimated 16% only are in work. That's 16%. Less than 0.2% of the population. This really bothers me. Just thinking how many Alan Turings, Steve Jobs, Nikola Teslas are actually being lost at the time when they're needed most. It's another dark time for the UK. I'm Jo. I am an expert on autism, as I've had it all my life, and I've also researched it. I have worn a mask, just as I did when I started, just to try to fit in. I'm going to share with you things that I've struggled with all my life, things that affected my work experience. I will suggest some systems that can be put into place in companies to help them attract, nurture, and actually grow our skills. To help you enter my world and the world of the autistic mind, can I just imagine that you are on holiday in a foreign country? Different customs, culture, language, all around. You could try to speak the language. It's not clear. It is understood when you break the rules. Under COD, you're accepted. You're a foreigner. Now try to understand the world of the autistic person. Seeing, understanding, communicating, reacting to the world very differently. And it's our own world. We're not fitting in, but we're judged because we are part of that world, apparently. How to communicate properly. All of these things are actually picked up naturally from babyhood and throughout life. Variations learnt, not by autistic people. Slowly, painfully learnt. Mistakes blowing up in our face. Defences going up. Try to prevent this happening again. The mask goes on. This is what we're meant to do, how we're meant to act. We're just acting most of our lives. You learn to keep quiet. You don't get judged for how you say things. But just think of the talents that we've got. Seeing the patterns, processing information, computer programming, artistic skills, logos, straight communication, multiple approaches, often simultaneously with me, seeing potential problems, potential solutions, saving money before it even happens. Skills all invaluable to business now more than ever. Yet, yes, we can appear hard to work with, communicate with. Unexpected reactions, especially under stress, misunderstandings. It's very hard for us to get around that. However, learn how our operating systems actually work, as with anybody, and businesses can really get us on board. The Alan Turings will break the code to prospering in these dark times that we are facing. Can I just let you into my experiences and how I came to understand autism and how businesses can truly benefit by understanding it? School life influences how we become. Mine were not good. Playtimes spent alone, stand against a wall. How do you join in? How do you make friends? Bullied, no confidence, very few friends. Roll on many years. I've been happy at work, accepted for who I was. Quiet, not talkative, eccentric, how I stood, spoke with no slang. Contributions recognised. I really felt valued. A year and a half later, things change. New boss. No trust developed. Contributions unrecognised. Little guidance. Review. Poor feedback. No clear goals. Attempts to get clarification actively discouraged. Didn't feel valued by the team anymore. Trust in management? Pfft, forget it. No confidence. I just go really, really quiet. 6 months later, I found myself in front of a panel, judging my ability to do my work. I could actually lose my job. However, some good news from that finally. My responses indicate an underlying issue. Panel members recognise this. Occupational health agree. I still ended up having to leave that place of work as connections were never really made. I never felt valued. A year later, and another review. These keep coming, but this is a good one. This is with an autism expert. I've been lucky to get one. I have autism. This explains so many of my issues. So how does this story relate to autism? Just a fluke, a sad, isolated story? I'm going to ramble on about it? No. My stories at school, struggles at school and at work, and life in general, reflect the general experience of many autistic people. 75% are bullied at school. Many go through a disciplinary process to reach diagnosis. Why? Many of us are just not aware we've got it. We masked to fit in all our lives. Females are very good at this. Confidence levels just go low. If this can be understood better, rather than the autistic person remaining quiet, unseen, feeling of no value, it's not good. But they can be attracted, nurtured and retained. Through my public speaking, I will raise awareness of this and the positives it can bring to companies. However, it is human nature to distrust those who are different, especially in communication, leading to misunderstandings and assumptions of our abilities. So just getting a job can be a challenge. Keeping it, that's another. So how can these barriers be overcome and the masks be considered removable? So by understanding communication and the barriers they cause, one set of communication statistics, 7% verbal, subtle differences in uses and meanings not understood by autistic people, taken literally with blunt responses, not reading between the lines. 55% body language, posture, facial expression, not seen, not understood, not copied. Tone of voice, also not seen, not heard, understand, copied. Just think back to the start when you shut your eyes. If I wear a mask, this affects what you understand? When I asked some scouts to wear masks and have an animated conversation, they truly struggled. They'd lost half the communication that they were used to. They entered my world. We just don't learn it. We don't copy it. Therefore, we don't respond naturally. We try, we fail. So why do I say that you are entering my world? The natural flow of conversation is affected by Zoom meetings. You're looking at a face, not the whole body. We've got great skills that they're just not recognised from our different thinking processes to business. Understand our communications, and the Alan Turings will really take their place. So actually, how to attract, nurture and retain us. Based on my experience, I put together a system covering respecting us and understanding us, recruiting, ripening, reviewing and retaining. Yes, it is very much based on current systems. But it is based on the autistic needs. As Stephen Shaw said, once you know one person with autism, you know one person with autism. It starts right from before the advertising point. Make it clear what is there, not what might be. You will scare off some applicants. And making it clear that a company is actually disability friendly helps, encourages disclosure at an early stage, the needs at interviews and all the way through. Just remember that small differences can really make a massive difference. Autistic people were asked in America to review HR procedures. Over 140 suggestions were made. I felt able to disclose at one interview, and actually my straight talking was appreciated, and I felt able to disclose my needs during interview processes concerning lights and being able to fidget and clear questions. So reconsider the current HR system using my system, and guess what? Alan Turing's will advertise, will join, and just think of all the other Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, that will also join, people we need now. The time to get to know people can really be worth it, even if you're quite quiet. At one place where I was given ad hoc information to do, I felt able to say, I've got autism. So in addition to being shown the work, the information was also emailed to me. I could really understand the job. I completed it 100% correctly, using color coding to show the issues. And I became known for loving the truly fiddly, detailed information, which not everybody else enjoyed, but came from my autistic skills. So to summarise, to allow us to lower our barriers, understand our communication right through the system, understand that extra support may be needed, please discuss it, it is an individual need, understand our ways and discuss in a friendly way training as required. The result of this, we'll be able to relax, there will be less misunderstandings, and passionate contributions from a loyal workforce. And by doing this, you will say the Alan Turings who helped at Bletchley Park will be saving the country from economic struggles from today that we are facing today, enriching companies and lives. So if you would like to know more about how we can help, please contact me and I will have a free meeting for 30 minutes to discuss how I can help you. And if you want to consider how life would be without autistic contribution, consider COVID-19 lockdown. No computer systems as we know it to communicate with, no AC electricity, no electronic meetings like this one. I look forward to hearing from you if you would like to discuss this further. Thank you.
Brilliant. Virtual round of applause for Joe, aka Autistic Mouse. Thank you so much for that. So everybody want to take a couple of seconds to share their greatest insights in the chat. Thank you again so much for that, Joe. I really loved how you talked about and really shared your insights of having to wear a mask and learning to keep quiet. That's quite a scary thought for me to hear, that in order for you to kind of exist, you need to stay quiet, and that can't be right. So I'm glad you've surfaced that and you've brought that to our attention, because I think that's very important that we understand that. Absolutely, we need to understand autism better, we need to nurture it, and we need to definitely harness the talents, because as you mentioned, if it wasn't for people on the various aspects of autism, this whole world will be a very, very different place. So thank you for that. Another virtual round of applause for Joe there.